Tonight on News 22, a hearing has been set in the Southwest Airlines accident that left one New Mexico woman dead. California wildfires continue to rage, threatening more homes and structures. And we bring you the work of a local artist from the Las Cruces Farmers Market. All that and more on News 22 Thursday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana Castillo.
And I'm Shelby Kapp.
Investigators are opening a hearing in an accident on a southwest plane that left one Albuquerque woman dead.
The flight malfunctioned in the air near Philadelphia in April. 43-year-old Jennifer Reardon from Albuquerque was on board. A window blew out and she was sucked out of the plane along with debris from the cabin. Reardon was the only person who died in the accident. This investigation is still supposed to prevent these accidents from happening.
The ultimate goal of our investigation is to learn from this tragedy so that we can prevent it from happening again to others. Submit additional documentary exhibits.
Pilot Tammy Joel Schultz landed the plane in Philadelphia. No other passengers were hurt. The jetliner was carrying 144 passengers and 5 crew members.
This time next week, we'll be stuffing ourselves with Thanksgiving food. And the Las Cruces Fire Department has some safety tips. Start with a clean work area, keep pets and children away, and limit the number of people in the kitchen. Don't wear loose clothing or jewelry. Be extra careful if you're deep frying a turkey. Deep frying is a bigger fire danger than cooking in the oven.
Firefighters and rescue workers are searching for bodies after a week of deadly California wildfires.
Officials are hopeful that the worst of the fires are behind them, as they hope to further contain the blazes. Paul Buchanan has the latest details from California.
Firefighters in California make progress on containing several wildfires throughout the state. The focus now shifts to the daunting task of recovery and identifying the victims. In Northern California, the Camp Fire has killed at least 56 people as over 460 rescue workers and officials comb through debris, searching for human remains.
They've already have the capability of beginning to collect samples from the general public or people who suspect that a loved one may have perished in the fire.
It's the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California history.
A week ago tonight, most of us went to bed not knowing that we would wake up in the morning to a fire that burns 55,000 acres, burns approximately 8,000 structures in the first 12 hours.
In Southern California, the Woolsey fire, which started 7 days ago, is more than 57% contained. That fire has destroyed more than 500 structures, but with more favorable weather conditions expected, officials are optimistic that they have a handle on this blaze. And on Thursday, yet another new fire in Southern California, the Briggs Fire, just north of the Woolsey Fire near Santa Paula. More than 230,000 acres have burned through the state over the past week, and more than 300,000 people have been evacuated, as families are left to wonder whether they'll have a home to return to. In Calabasas, California, I'm Paul Verkaman reporting.
So it feels like we just skipped over fall and went straight to winter.
Exactly. It's been very cold lately.
I know. I wonder if it's going to stay this way or if it's going to warm up a little. Amanda's going to tell us. She's next with our first look at weather.
That's right, Shelby. It's sitting at 51 degrees, so those fall temperatures are definitely sticking around. We're getting some wind from the southwest. Our humidity sits at 21%, our dew point at 18 degrees, and our barometer sits at 30.18 inches. Taking a look at today's high, we saw a 60 degrees, which was very nice, well below our average of 67. And tonight's low, we're looking at 29 degrees. Taking a look back in time, in 1999, we saw a high of 75, which we were well below today. In 1976, we saw a low of 22 degrees. And we had no rain today, so our yearly rainfall still sits at 7.22 inches. That's all I have for your local conditions currently. More of that when we come back after we go back to news.
A hearing is scheduled for Republican Senate candidate Yvette Harrell. Harrell's lawsuit is hoping to get rid of 8,000 absentee ballots. Harrell is yet to concede the race. She says the 8,000 votes must be investigated and retallied. Harrell has not cited any wrongdoing, but says that the votes must be impounded to ensure the voter had a valid outcome. The votes will become official when the state canvassing board approves the results. Michelle Lujan Grisham has a team in place to help her transition into the governor's office. There are 7 committees tasked with getting feedback from state government workers and providing recommendation to the governor-elect. Emphasis will be on the education, public safety, economic growth, health and human services, labor, natural resources, and general services. Lujan Grisham will be sworn in on January 1st.
The person just elected to be the next land commissioner in New Mexico is looking for help. Land Commissioner-elect Stephanie Garcia Richard wants qualified people to send in resumes. Richard has a new website to submit resumes or request a meeting. The State Land Office oversees oil and gas drilling, renewable energy, and other developments of millions of acres of state trust land. Most of the money goes towards education. But it's still not clear who won several key races in Florida.
Republican Governor Rick Scott and Democratic incumbent Senator Bill Nelson await the results of the recount. Kristen Holmes is in West Palm Beach, Florida with the report.
All eyes on Florida as the election recount continues. Each of the state's 67 counties racing to meet a Thursday deadline, processing more than 8.2 million votes. And not without roadblocks. Technical problems in Palm Beach County.
Will you meet the deadline today?
The likelihood is slim.
After old machines overheated, causing more than 170,000 votes to be recounted again. The recount triggered last Saturday when both the U.S. Senate race between Republican Governor Rick Scott and Democratic incumbent Senator Bill Nelson and the state's contentious gubernatorial race were within a 0.5% margin. The smallest lead in the Senate race, Scott ahead of Nelson by roughly 12,000 votes. Wednesday, the Senate battle moving from the court of public opinion to the court of law. In a litany of lawsuits, many brought on by Democrats hoping to find more votes.
Bill Nelson is strong as could be. He believes, I believe, he's won a majority of the votes. And as long as they're counted, he will continue being senator from Florida.
But Governor Scott is claiming victory and forging ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Spending Wednesday on Capitol Hill as senator-elect and appearing alongside Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. In Palm Beach County, Florida, I'm Kristen Holmes.
The Catholic Church is facing more charges after victims in Las Cruces filed lawsuits this week. The victims claim they were sexually assaulted over a period of time by Father Joaquin Resma. He served at Our Lady of Health Parish here in Las Cruces in the 1970s and 80s. He is now deceased. He was not part of last week's list from the diocese of 28 former clergy members who officially say have been credibly accused of sexual abuse of children. Of the 28 on that list, 12 are dead and 4 have been defrogged.
Stay tuned and Amanda will be back with your national forecast.
But first, the farmers market has a lot more to offer than just produce. More on that when News 22 continues.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
How can this house of secrets ever be called a home?
You would be signing his death warrant. Is that what you want?
I'm going to be exploring using laser technology to reveal secrets of the ancient world in a whole new way.
He said, "Welcome home." It was just a powerful moment.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
I want young adults to know that the world is a much bigger place than just the spot that they are occupying at this time. And PBS presents that in a very positive manner. I have left my PBS station a gift in my will. I want to be certain the programs presented by PBS are carried forward to future generations.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Thursday,
where news matters. The traveling art exhibition in downtown Las Cruces is on its way out of town in a couple of weeks, that is. The traveling exhibition from the Prado Museum displays classic Spanish art and has been at the Plaza de Las Cruces since the beginning of September. If you haven't had a chance to stop by and see the art, don't hesitate. The exhibit will be leaving the Las Cruces December 28th. Paintings so beautiful you can actually feel the love through them.
And News 22's Abron Ramos has more on the story.
My paintings are a reflection of me. I am a very passionate person. I'm very optimistic. I'm very lively. I love to laugh. I believe that if you can find laughter, no matter what you're going through, if you can find a way to have a little bit of laughter every day, you're going to be okay. That and all my pictures, no matter what picture, I don't care if it's black and white, I don't care if it's a flower, one of my girls, the Oregon Mountains, trees, whatever I'm painting. I paint funny cows, animals, but you will see on all of my paintings that they are all, there's a point of light in all of them, and that is my little message, and I didn't even really mean to, it just happened, but that is my message, to keep searching for light.
Well, that wasn't we have the building there. In 1997, we had a place called Community Soldiers. That was our first show, which is where the sandwiches. Yeah. I have her art in the restaurant because I feel like for this particular restaurant, it was very much a labor of love. We built everything here from the ground up. My son and our kitchen manager, they redid the whole building and we worked on it really hard. And I feel like her beauty and her art belong in our building to complete it.
Well, I have people that are very in tune to their spirit. They will come into my booth and they will say, I feel your art. I feel the love in there. And that makes me very happy because I think it's, that is, for me, that's my whole purpose, is to make the world a better place.
And I'll hold this one too.
Well, why don't we put it up? And
I have a bag for that one too.
So we'll put it in a bag.
So there's cow.
Yes, you can.
And I always tell everybody that buys my animals, you have to name them.
I'm going to name it Beautiful Cow.
That's a perfect name!
The city of Las Cruces is in the works to improve the city. The Elevate Las Cruces Comprehensive Plan is a guide to help long-term growth and sustainability in the city. This is an update from the plan that took place in 2013. It will focus on things like housing, transportation, infrastructure, land use, and community character. There is an online survey residents have the access to until November 20th to give their input. The Albuquerque Journal reports that the state's educational system is improving. At least half of the New Mexico high school students are attending a higher education institution and remedial course according to data from 2012. The decrease in remediation rates shows a rise in proficiency rates, increased teaching standards, and other factors. But the data only counts students who attended in-state institutions.
The Mesilla Valley Community of Hope is now an accredited organization. They recently received a 3-year accreditation from the International Commission on Accreditation for rehabilitation facilities for the rapid rehousing and homelessness prevention programs. Mesilla Valley City of Hope has partnered with the City of Las Cruces on homeless prevention and ending veteran homelessness. So I know we've been struggling with the cold, but I heard we're not the only ones.
I did too, and Amanda's next with your the national forecast.
That's right, the rest of the country has definitely been feeling those fall temperatures. In San Francisco, Reno, and Medford, they've been seeing some partly cloudy skies. In Phoenix and Los Angeles, they actually hit 80 and 75 degrees, so it's been a bit warmer. But on the other side of the country, a lot chillier. Buffalo, New York, they got some snow today, and Boston is getting ready for some tonight. Taking a look at my next map, tonight's lows across the country is going to be just as cool. Temperatures are sticking to the low 30s for New York, Buffalo, and Boston. And in the West Coast, very chilly as well. Reno at 25 degrees and Boise at 29. And in my final map, taking a look at our Sunday for many travelers across the country, they're going to be seeing some sunny skies in Los Angeles, Redding, and Portland, as well as Atlanta and New Orleans. But South Texas could expect some rain, so keep that in mind when you're traveling. That's all for a national forecast. I'll be back with your local temperatures. Keep it here.
Here and Now, NPR News middays, weekday afternoons from noon to 2 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me in West England, where we'll explore picturesque Cotswold villages. Visit an eccentric lord in his manor house.
Bounce up and down.
Marvel at a striking cathedral and attend evensong. Then we'll taste some hard apple cider with the farmer who made it. Experience the New Age vibe of Glastonbury. And finish with the Stone Age mystery of England's ancient past.
Saturday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at our current conditions in New Mexico. Farmington sits at 40 degrees, Santa Fe at 36, Clovis at 44, Ruidoso as well as a chilly 40, and in Deming at 47 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow's temperatures, we're going to be sticking with those cold temperatures. Farmington at 56, Santa Fe 57, Albuquerque 57, Clovis a little bit warmer at 63, and Deming at 62. Taking a look at our cities closer to home, Alamogordo, you're going to be seeing 44 degrees tonight with clear skies as your low. Tomorrow, 61 for your high. In TRC, a low tonight of 54, a little bit chilly, and tomorrow a high of sunny skies at 63. In Silver City tonight, 42 for your low. Tomorrow, a warmer high at 58. And here at home, we're going to be looking at a very chilly low of 29. Tomorrow, sunny skies at 63. That's all I have for our local conditions. I'll be back later for your 5-day. For now, more news.
The parking lot in front of Corbett Center is now open after being closed all day for a very special celebration.
Today, Nmsu inaugurated Chancellor Dan Arvizu and President John Floros in the parking lot between Milton Hall and Corbett Center. Arvizu and Floros were hired to replace Dr. Gary Carruthers, who held both positions of Chancellor and President. Nowadays, more people with disabilities are being employed around the U.S. People are understanding that these individuals are more than capable of handling the job.
I met a young woman who hasn't let her disability slow her down and therefore has become a beloved member of the Nmsu community. Meet 21-year-old Marisa Martinez. She works at the Nmsu weight room, and she is the reason why the equipment is so clean and why the fridge is always full. Marisa has Down syndrome, and though this has given her challenges, she still wanted a job. Weight room manager, Coach Don Decker, met Marisa at church. He gave her the job.
We just developed this position and given her an opportunity to find, kind of her niche, as everybody does when they graduate high school, whether they go to college or whether they enter the workforce.
At first, Marisa just did her job and didn't socialize much. Her father, Rami Martinez, volunteers in the weight room and says she's come out of her shell.
The hardest part is to understand her is her speech, but she does, and she tries to speak, and she tries to articulate what she wants to get across. And most of the athletes and the coaches do understand her.
After 2 years, she's made some very strong friends. She even leads a team huddle after their practice. Like interacting with the players?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, with all the athletes?
Yeah, oh, actually. Yeah.
Terrell Hanks is one of the athletes who has developed a close bond with Marisa.
Honestly, she just lifts me up every day. I don't find not one reason to complain because, you know, what she's going through, you know, what she had to fight and endure, something I can never even come close to, you know.
And her dad is just very grateful.
It's just, you know, that they're doing something for an individual that has a disability. And that there are opportunities for people with disabilities, but you have to go out there and look for them and find them.
Marisa is one of the Aggies' biggest fans, and she is proud to be the one to keep their weight room in order.
So it's finally basketball season here at NMSU, but football is not done yet.
I know, and Kristen is next with sports.
Thanks, Shelby and Diana. Coming up in sports, find out how the NMSU men's basketball team played last night. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
One of Broadway's best Special Tony Award winners, John Leguizamo, lets us in on the making of his recent hit.
Latin History for Morons.
And why he created it.
My son is going through the same racial rite of passage as I did.
And how he kept shaping it till it was ready.
It's been years.
Join John Leguizamo on the road to Broadway.
Tonight's lesson is Latin History for Morons. And that's you.
In a great performances Voces special.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Next time on A Chef's Life.
Cornbread is really, really personal.
There's no wrong way, unless you don't come out right.
Right. All right. 10 pig and a puppy?
We're the only ones that do them.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody else has ripped that
They
off.
can't figure out how to make them, and we're not telling anybody.
Get a big whopping spoonful. Drop it like it's hot.
Yes.
Voila.
Saturday morning at 10:30 on KRWG-Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. It's time to kick it with Kristen. The NMSU men's basketball team is coming off of their first loss of the season against St. Mary's. The Aggies were able to keep up with the Gales early on in the first half, but St. Mary's controlled the rest of the game. NMSU was able to pull within single digits with 7 minutes remaining in the second half, but ultimately fell to St. Mary's 73-58. The Aggies' next game will be the Battle of I-25 in Albuquerque on Saturday at 4 p.m. The New Mexico State football team is headed to Provo, Utah to take on BYU this Saturday. The game will be at 8:15 p.m. inside the Lavelle Edwards Stadium. The Aggies are coming off of a bye week, and BYU is coming off of a win against UMass. However, the Cougars have lost 4 of their last 6 games. The Aggies have an overall record of 3-7, while the Cougars have an overall record of 5-5. NMSU fans will be able to catch the game on ESPN2. The New Mexico State volleyball team is getting ready to finish up the regular season. Currently, the Aggies are taking on Kansas City in the Pan Am Center, and on Saturday they will be facing off against Chicago State at 2 p.m. The WAC volleyball tournament is set for November 22nd through the 24th in Bakersfield, California. The tournament will feature the top 6 eligible teams from the regular season standings, and currently the Aggies are in 3rd. Only 2 Las Cruces teams are left in the high school football playoffs this week. The Centennial Hawks are set to face off against the El Dorado Eagles tomorrow night at the Field of Dreams at 7 p.m. And the Las Cruces Bulldogs will be taking on the La Cueva Bears at Wilson Stadium in Albuquerque tomorrow night, also at 7 p.m. If both Las Cruces teams win, they will meet up in the semifinals to battle it out against each other. And that's all for sports tonight. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll be taking next week off for Thanksgiving break, but we'll be back with the following week with all things sports. Still ahead on News 22, Amanda will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, they may not be open on Sundays, but they're open to celebrating Veterans Day. More on that when News 22 returns.
On The Woman in White.
We need a doctor. Bringing a doctor here could lead the Count and Glide straight to us.
Be done with it.
I will not be done with it!
Sir Percival has a secret he is desperate to hide. I have nothing to offer you but my heart and my hand.
I will never bargain with you.
Sunday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Khulud started as a lawyer helping Palestinian women like me. She used Sharia law to give us the justice we deserve. And now she's become our first female Sharia judge. I am so proud.
The Judge, Monday at 9:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
It's the 21st annual Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, honoring Julia Louis-Dreyfus with Stephen Colbert, Bryan Cranston, Tina Fey, Tony Hale, Abby Jacobson, and Alana Glazer, Keegan-Michael Key, Lisa Kudrow, Kumail Nanjiani, Jerry Seinfeld, with musical guest Jack Johnson, and an A-list of celebrity friends.
Monday at 8 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Let's take a look at our top stories. The hearing date was set for the airplane crash that left one New Mexico woman dead. California is still engulfed in flames. Many homes have been lost and many more are in danger. An art exposition in downtown Las Cruces is only here until December 28th, so make sure you can catch it before it leaves.
Chick-fil-A celebrates Veterans Day with a special welcome from deployed Navy sailors. In Jacksonville, Florida, hundreds of free sandwiches were handed out to service members and their families. The sailors returned home on Saturday after spending 7 months deployed at sea in Scandinavia. Some had to stay on duty upon arrival and couldn't leave the ship, but Chick-fil-A made sure they were fed.
What a great way to celebrate Veterans Day.
I know. And Amanda, tell us what the next 5 days are looking like.
Well, the next 5 days are looking pretty good. We're going to be staying in the upper 60s most of the week, so getting ready for Thanksgiving should be fun and really nice, good temperatures.
Perfect. We're going to have some good temperatures for Thanksgiving. And actually, we won't be here next week because we're going to be on Thanksgiving break, but make sure to tune in the week after Thanksgiving for more stories from around the Southwest. I'm Shelby Kapp.
I'm Diana Castillo.
And I'm Amanda Adame. Good night.
Good night.
This news brief in Español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a este breve informativo de Noticias 22. Con ustedes, Marlene Barraza. Una nueva forma de fraude con cheques está circulando en el condado de Doña Ana y los detectives del alguacil advierten a los residentes que tengan cuidado. Un residente le dijo a los detectives que él había recibido un cheque en el correo de alguien que había preguntado sobre el artículo a la venta en Craigslist. El cheque de caja se extendió por más de $1,000 e incluyó instrucciones sobre cómo cobrar el cheque y mantener el resto en efectivo o tarjetas de regalo de Walmart. El residente reconoció el cheque como fraude y lo entregó al departamento del alguacil. Alto al Crimen ofrece una recompensa de hasta $1,000 por información que ayude a identificar a 2 mujeres sospechosas de usar una tarjeta bancaria en Las Cruces que, según informes, fueron robados en El Paso. La policía supo que la tarjeta bancaria fue robada el domingo 30 de septiembre en un hotel de El Paso, Texas. El mismo día, la tarjeta bancaria se utilizó en una tienda de Walmart en Las Cruces y en varias tiendas en el centro comercial Mesilla Valley. Ellas fueron capturadas en video utilizando la tarjeta en Las Cruces. Ambas mujeres parecen tener cabello oscuro y se ven que tenían un niño pequeño en un cochecito. Cualquier persona con información debe llamar al Alto al Crimen al número que aparece en pantalla. Para Noticias 22, Marlene Barraza.